tomorrow what is creativity and how this creativity can be used for innovating things, what are the conceptual blocks, and what are the components of creativity, and we will also discuss the paradoxical characteristic of creative groups, what are the tools for defining problems and creating new ideas, and how we can create a creative climate. So there are some myths about creativity, like the smarter you are, the more creative you will be. The younger are more creative than the older. The creativity is reserved for few elite risk takers, and creativity is a solitary act. You need peace, you need
Sir, I cannot
loneliness.
hear anything, sir.
Hello,
Hello?
does anybody is able to hear me?
Sir?
Anybody
Audible.
can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Audible, sir.
So please check, there might be some problem with
Yes, sir.
your side. So then some person feel that creativity is a solitary act. You one should focus on and should have a peaceful place to be creative, and many people say that it's not uh, it's not it's beyond my capacity to be creative. I can't manage creativity. So these are not the right things, these are myths. The reality is the creativity is not exclusively for elite people. It can be developed in all persons, and it can be learned, practiced, and successfully applied by all. And basically, creativity is personal problem solving process of a non-routine kind, and it can be in every walk of life. So what is creativity, and what is the role of creativity? It has been nicely defined by Edward de Bono in his book. So there is no doubt that creativity is the most important human resource of all, and without creativity there would be no progress, and we would be forever repeating the same patterns. So this was the thinking of Edward de Bono about creativity. Let's see what creativity and innovation means. The creativity is bringing into existence an idea that is new to you. So that is creativity. And then if you practically apply these creative ideas to solve the problem, then it is innovation. And what is creative thinking? A talent that you were born with and a set of skills that can be learned, developed, and utilized in daily problem solving. So that is creative thinking, and we will be discussing some of the methods of creative thinking. So creativity, as I have discussed in previous slide, it's a more solution, it's a more than idea, and these ideas must work in the real life. So creative solution has three attributes. It should be new, should be useful, and it should be useful that solves the problem. Otherwise it will not be a solution. So it should be feasible in the real world, and as I have earlier mentioned that everyone has substantial creative ability. So what is ability? This is basically capacity to generate new ideas by combining the things, changing the things, or replying existing ideas. Like some ideas is being used in some other field, and we can utilize that in medical field or so on. Then should everyone has a ability to creativity, and should have an attitude, that means ability to accept the change. Like there are some set patterns, there are some set patterns of working. So initially there is force or resistance to any change. So for becoming creative, we should be ready to accept the change. And then a process. The creative person knows that there is always room for improvement. So sorry. So if anybody thinks that he has mastered the things and there is no room for improvement, then that is a big hurdle for creativity. So at every moment, however it is defined, there are always chances of improvement. So these three features one should have: ability, attitude, and a process for improvement. Then we can take the hints from the nature and create accordingly. Like nature has created leaf which harvests the solar energy. So the human has created solar panel by taking inspiration from nature. Then there every human being or other animals has brain. So human has created computer. Then there is a DNA which has lot of informations and programming for our life cycle, so as the computer programming made by man. Then eye can be compared with the camera. Then eyelid, like windshield. Then heart has inspired to make pump, and so on. So nature inspires us to create similar things for improvement of our lives. Then creative thinking has been defined by Edward de Bono in his book, that focuses on, that defines three things: focus on exploring ideas, generate possibilities, and look for many right answers rather than just one. So this is the most important thing, that there might be multiple answers, multiple right answers for the similar problems. So one should not restrict himself to just one answer. Then what are the qualities of creative peoples? Creative peoples believe that they are creative. So this is the first and foremost thing, that believe yourself that you have the capability of creativity. Then one should have a curiosity, should have a confidence, courage, and should have a consistent efforts, and should be able to understand the creative process itself, that it's a process and it might take time. Then if you have a negative attitude, that blocks creativity completely. Like, oh, there is a problem, it cannot be done, I cannot solve this problem, I am not a creative person. Or there might be fear of failure or fear of society, that what people may think about you if you fail. So negativity should not come, because it blocks the creativity. Some I would like to quote some examples where experts have given their opinion that these innovations are going to fail, but now we can realize the importance of those innovations. Like at the time of introduction of telephone, US president at that time was Rutherford B. Hayes, who participated a trial phone conversation between Washington and Philadelphia in way back 1876. And after a conversation, he commented that it's an amazing invention, but who would ever want to use these gadgets? So now it is, it cannot be imagined to live without telephones or a newer version of these telephones or smartphones. So that clearly indicates that how wrong his opinion was. So listen to expert, but don't believe. They are not always correct. Another example can be taken from television. So the head of the Century Fox, which is a film production house, the head of that was Daryl in 1946 when televisions were introduced. And he also opined like televisions won't be able to hold on to any market after 6 months, and people will soon get tired of staring into box every night. But how true it is? It is not true anymore. Now we can't imagine our life without television. So it has become so much important. Then another example can be taken from, which was opinion given to Mr. Ford's lawyer, who wanted to invest in Ford company in way back in the starting. And he advised, the president of Michigan Saving Bank advised Henry Ford's lawyer not to invest in Ford Motor Company. As he mentioned, the horse is here to stay, but the automobile is only a novelty and it will fail. But that liar didn't listen to that gentleman who was an expert in the investment, and he invested $5,000 in Ford company. And after several years, he sold his share at $12.5 million. So that's how innovative things goes. So many times experts fail. And similarly, another example is, which was given by chairman of IBM about computer. They said that, I think there is a world market for about 5 computers. Now, if we see, we might get 4 or 5 computers in a big family itself. And he was thinking that there might be a market size of 5 computers all over the world. So these are the few examples how several times even experts fail to uh, fail to predict the innovative products and its impact on society. So let's see what are the conceptual blocks. There are 2 conceptual blocks. One is formal education that individuals have, and another thing is the more experience they have in a job. These 2 things make a conceptual block. Why? Because if we have a more education, more formal educated individuals, then they are less able to solve problems in creative ways. And more experience we gain, we are used to 1 or 2 methods to solve the problems. And as we gain experience, we are not able to accept the changes. We are used to some method to deal with that. So that's why they are not going for the innovative methods or creative methods to solve the problem. Then formal education leads to right answers, analytical rules, and these things made the thinking boundaries. And experience in job leads to knowing proper ways of doing things. They have specialized knowledge, and expectations are rigid. So these leads to less flexibility, less chances of improvisation, and that's why the people become less innovative or less creative. Then there are three components of creativity. One is expertise, another is motivation, and third is creative thinking skills. Then expertise means they have knowledge, technical knowledge, procedural knowledge, and they have intellect to solve the problem. Then comes motivation. So everybody has a different level of motivation. Not everybody is motivated equally. So if someone has a passion to solve the problem, then it leads to creativity. And then creative thinking skills determine how flexible and imaginative the people's approach are for solving the problems. Then in creative groups, there should be a combination of experienced person as well as the younger persons or less experienced persons, because these paradoxical these creative groups with paradoxical characteristics leads to better generation of creative ideas. Like beginner's mind doesn't know how to solve the particular problem, so he has multiple options, multiple imaginations to solve that problem. However, experienced person know how to solve that particular problem, so he can guide that, okay, this method is already existing, so we should focus on other. So similar way, these paradoxical characteristics help in generating the innovative ideas. So like newer persons are free, um, have freedom of thoughts, they will be more imaginative in solving the problems, whereas experienced person more will be more disciplined in thinking, and experienced person will have more professional approach to solve the problem, and they have proper planning to solve the problem. And however, newer persons used to do improvisations, used to get easier ways of doing. So in these ways, the combination of new and experienced person help to generate the creative ideas. Then comes creative process. It includes the work environment, the creative traits about which we have talked about. Then comes steps of creative process, then brainstorming, divergent thinking, and so on. So like for research question, the questions for idea generating are also there. So 6 questions are there. Who means who is agent, who is actor, what you want to provide solution, when, timing, and where, what is where it will be utilized, why we are doing these exercises, and how it should be done. So these are questions for creativity, just like or research questions. Then there are tools for creative new ideas. These are attribute listing, brainstorming, and visioning. So we will discuss one by one. What attribute listing means? When you have a situation that can be decomposed into attributes, which itself can be useful creative activity, and particularly useful with physical objects. You can use it elsewhere too. Then highly rational style can be suitable for people who prefer analytic approaches, good for engineering type situations. And for objects or things listed, as many attributes as you can. So basically it fragments your problem into several and list this and find solutions accordingly. So that can be utilized in different areas. Then for each attribute, ask what does this give and seek the real value of each attribute. It is also possible that attributes have negative value. That means they detract from the overall value of object. And finally, look for ways in which you can modify the attributes in some way. Thus, you can increase the value, decrease the negative value, or you can create new value. Then comes brainstorming. This is very useful technique, and basic guideline is one shouldn't give judgment and there should be no critical comments. So everybody in the group is allowed to participate and everything is noted down and nobody is evaluated at that point of moment. Evaluation can be done later on and everybody is encouraged to think freely and encouraged to provide practical ideas, sometimes maybe impractical, impossible, but sometimes wild ideas turn out to be practical also. So there should be free thinking allowed to every participants, and then improve it, modify it, build new ideas. And here quantity of ideas is important, not the quality. So one should list down the ideas, note down the ideas, then can discuss it further to improve it. So this is basically brainstorming, basically for generation of ideas, which can be later on refined and improved. So for all of us, brainstorming is probably best known creative tool, and it can be used in most groups. Although we have to follow certain rules before starting brainstorming to avoid any chaos. And it is best done using an independent facilitator who manages the process. And typically it takes around 30 minutes to 1 hour. So that is the most important thing, that we shouldn't go on marathon brainstorming meetings, because after certain times everybody gets fatigued. So time should be restricted, not more than 1 hour. Should be restricted to 1 hour. Then there are certain rules for brainstorming, like there should be no criticism or debate. Everybody is free. Everybody has got equal chances to express their ideas, and quantity should be given importance over quality. And there is a free will, that is everybody gets opportunity to speak about their ideas. Then there might be combination of ideas and there might be improvement on the ideas which have been given. So brainstorming is basically when one person's idea triggers the mind of others. So the other associated members can contribute to improve that idea. So that is the advantage of brainstorming. Then comes visioning. Visioning is a motivating view of the future. It creates pull and gives direction. So imagine brilliant and innovative future. Think about what you are trying to achieve out of that idea and go out into the future. Look around and see what is there. So phrases in the present tends to make it more immediate. Use is rather than will. Like during protocol writing, we present that we will do such things. So likewise. And visioning works because we are an imaginative species and are motivated by what we perceive as possible or desired future. So some examples can be taken from the sci-fi movies. So there are several examples, like example of smartphone, which was shown in some of movies, Mars Attack and others, which the devices similar to smartphones were featured. And at that time, nobody thought that these things will be in real life. But now we can see these things in real life and we are using them. Then how we can create a climate which encourages creativity. So the organizational characteristics which supports creativity and innovation are that we should encourage the employees and provide them risk taking acceptable. And employees have access to knowledge sources. Innovators should be rewarded. New ideas and new ways of doing things should be encouraged. Information should be freely flowing, should be freely available, and good ideas should be supported by the executive patrons. Then creative climate can also be created by motivation. Give them challenge, make it fun, and then empower them to use their imagination freely. And if something comes out, support them. Then practical methodology might be for these idea generating debates. Choose a recorder, organize the chaos, keep the session relaxed and playful, and preferably less than 60 minutes. And we can go for several such sessions, but we shouldn't extend it beyond 60 minutes. So thank you so much